All right. Hello, everybody. How are you? I am relaxing. This is Sunday, February 23rd. I'm just relaxing on my screened in back patio. I still don't know what we call these things. Is it a, I don't know. I've called it a screened in back patio. I've heard it's a lanai. I don't know. I just know it's really cozy back here. We've got a day of full sun. Get a load of this view here. It's really nice too today because we have temperatures right now that are only in the mid 70s. It's about 74, 75 here in the Stewart area. We don't have any humidity. I've got both the fans blowing. Here's a look at them. It just feels fantastic. Murphy, say hi. It's one of those days, right? So nice and relaxing. Okay, let's talk about some weather heading this way. There hasn't been, for my friends in Florida, there has not been much in the way of weather to talk about recently. It's really quiet. Okay, I'm going to share the screen here. That's kind of what happens here in South Florida. I know I'm still relatively new to the area. I've only been here about 5 months, but that's the whole thing down here. That's why the snowbirds come down, because while the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast and the Great Lakes are getting hammered with storm after storm after storm, and Arctic fronts here, there, just blasting wind chills below zero, down here in Florida, the weather turns really, really quiet. National Weather Service likes to use the term benign. And that's really, I mean, I can honestly tell you, since I've been down here, that's how it's been ever since we got out of tropical season. There hasn't been anything going on. Occasionally we get a shower or two. That's it. Otherwise, every day looks like this. Well, now we've got an area of low pressure developing in the Gulf off the coast of Texas. That low is going to be spreading east, and it's going to run right over the peninsula, Florida Peninsula, as we get into tomorrow. Now, the key here, it's not a huge storm, okay, or at least it doesn't appear to be a huge storm. But there's going to be some downpours with this and some thunderstorms. And depending on the exact track, there could actually be a little bit of flooding too. So let me set this in motion for you and see what's going on here. And obviously, there's no rain snow line with this. This is all rain. What you're seeing here, look towards the left. Okay, that's the storm. It's the storm that's going to be heading this way. Set it in motion. The darker the colors, the heavier the precipitation. So we get into right there. That's 7 o'clock in the morning on Monday. Doesn't look like there's going to be much going on around 95 from Miami up to let's call it Stewart, or maybe even Port St. Lucie, those areas. Okay, the weather is west of Lake Okeechobee, but you can see how it steadily pushes east, and you got some really dark greens pushing over the area here. Those are good downpours that are sweeping through. Okay, so once it starts, it's on and off downpours. Let me go back. I would say from about maybe it looks like maybe just after the morning commute. Maybe by 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, you're starting to get something. All right. So maybe if you're the early bird and you're going to your destination by 7, 8 o'clock, you're probably okay. But then shortly after that, boom, here it comes. Swings right through. Could linger into Tuesday morning. Notice there's like a little piece of energy sitting back. So there still could be a couple of showers Tuesday, and then boom, it's gone. Although this is some leftover stuff. This has nothing to actually do with the low. So here's a look. This is what I wanted to show you guys here. Take a look at some of these rainfall totals. Now, again, depending on, it's a small low. It's not a huge, in other words, it's not like a big hurricane that's going to be heading this way where it spans like 750 miles. It's more condensed. It's tightly compact compared to something like that. So the track's going to be really, really important here. And right now it takes the heaviest from, let's say, Fort Myers or just north of Fort Myers, right over Lake Okeechobee, and onto the Treasure Coast. Stewart's included in that. Port St. Lucie's included in that. Vero Beach, Sebastian, it looks like just south of Melbourne. That's where the heaviest is according to this latest run. But let me show you what happens here. So that's the last run. Here's the run prior. Still has the Treasure Coast area and Fort Myers area. But watch this, the one prior to that. See how much farther to the south it is? Now it's in the Miami area. And it's got 2 to 3 inches of rain down there. Okay, the one prior to that, it's kind of got 2 hits, one around the Florida Keys in Miami, and then the other one in the West Palm Beach area. Again, it's a good soaking, a 1 to 3 inch rainfall. And then the one prior to that looks like this. Got the heaviest from Lake Okeechobee south into the Florida Keys, which includes West Palm Beach, it includes the Everglades, it includes Miami, Boca, Delray, Boynton, all of those areas. It also includes It includes on the other side, on the Gulf side, it includes Fort Myers, includes Naples. It includes a lot of the areas where you have the cane fields. So just south of Lake Okeechobee. So again, notice in terms of real estate, it's a small area. So back to the latest run, notice it has shifted a little bit farther to the north. So the track is really going to determine what happens here. Here's a statement from National Hurricane Center, and this is what they're showing here. So they're saying the likely scenario here is, yeah. Oh, so what is that? Tell everybody what that is. What is it? Is it a unicorn? Okay.
Wait, now they don't use it.
They don't use it?
Because they're big children, so we get to keep it.
All right. Yeah, slap me 5. Slap me 5.
Oh.
Okay.
And we got us a new book. We have to get back.
Oh, okay. Where you going, honey? Okay, you go inside. You go inside and play. Oh, he's so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, so according to the National Weather Service in Miami, the most likely scenario here is for the heaviest rains to be south as opposed to north, which the latest forecast modeling has. So they have a good 1 to 2 inch rainfall from, it looks like Lake Worth, actually. Lake Worth Beach south into Miami, into Fort Lauderdale, and then the Florida Homestead and the Florida Keys. Okay, that's where it looks like it has the heaviest. Now, it's still got pretty good rains north of there, too. West Palm Beach, it has 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Jupiter, 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Stewart, probably closer to 1 inch. So the Weather Service is leaning towards the heavier hit to be farther to the south. But again, what's interesting here is the latest run actually has the heaviest hit north of there. So remember, it's a small, compact area. We're just going to have to watch it because where this heaviest band of rain moves, there could be some flooding with it. Right now, that heavy band looks like it's going to produce 1 to 3 inches of rain. And there could be some thunderstorms, too, on the southern side. So if there's going to be like a small area of low pressure that develops and pushes across. On the southern side, the southeast side, is where there could end up being a couple of thunderstorms out of this. I was just looking at the severe weather parameters. I don't see anything severe, but I do see the possibility of a couple of thunderstorms. Okay, here's another thing that's interesting too. Wanted to show you guys this because this is everybody, from my friends in the Mid-Atlantic, in the Northeast, here in South Florida. This is all something that we're going to have to watch closely, the water temperatures. So everywhere that you see orange or yellow, that's where ocean temperatures right now are above what's considered normal. Where you see the blue, it's below what's considered normal. It's been cold relative to averages here in Florida, or at least it was for a time. It has since warmed up. But what that cold weather did was it really cooled the ocean temperatures down. I remember at one point off the coast of Daytona Beach, we had water temperatures in the 40s. That's unheard of. All the manatees were running all the way down the coastline trying to get into, now they normally do that anyway, but they were really swimming as fast as they could to get down here because of how quickly those water temperatures were cooling. I know we had instances where like turtles and some of the wildlife had to be rescued because it was damaging to them. And so now they're at some of these, I know there's like loggerhead down here. They're getting therapy. That's how quickly the water turned cold. But what's interesting, look in the Gulf, in the central Gulf below Louisiana. You see that little bullseye of red? That's a big blob of really warm water. And so I'm wondering how this, I mean, if we're already this warm here above what's considered normal when it's February, I'm honestly a little concerned what's going to happen moving forward. Okay, I'm really hoping that this system coming through here cools the water down a little bit. Honestly, I'd like to see another one on its heels, cool, get some upwelling, cool the water down a little bit. Because the last thing in the world you want to do is you want to have waters really, really warm moving into hurricane season, and then you've got problems. And we're all aware of that, you know, down here in Florida. Okay, last graphic here that I'll share with you. Get a load of this. So what's going to be interesting here is what we're seeing now is, I don't know how much winter's left for my friends in the Mid-Atlantic. You know, Mid-Atlantic meaning DC, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York. I did a video earlier in the week, and what I think is going to happen moving forward is there's still a chance you can get some snow. You can still get a good walloping out of this, but I think you're going to have to thread the needle moving forward because there's going to be a lot more Pacific involved in this pattern as opposed to just straight Arctic. So if you look towards the top of your screen, you see my cursor moving back and forth. This is all northern Canada. Here's the pole. Those huge Arctic outbreaks, we were taking air, just dropping it from Siberia over the pole and into the United States. You see right here, you see these areas of low pressure on the west coast of Canada and on the west coast of the United States. Now we're getting a big upper level low in the Gulf of Alaska. And so now what's happening is you're still going to get a little bit of cold air involved in the pattern. You're going to get some good cold shots, but now you see these lows off the coast moving one after the next. Now you're also going to get this Pacific air running across the country. And so remember, it doesn't have to be brutally cold to snow in the mid-Atlantic or the Northeast. It's just got to be cold enough. But when you start getting into patterns like this, you got to time everything out just right. And it looks like with how active the Gulf of Alaska is going to be and how much moisture and storminess we're moving in off the Pacific, it really looks like a true example of you're going to have to thread the needle just right in order to get a good snow in places like Philadelphia, New York, Baltimore, DC. And again, it could happen. I'm not saying it can't. I'm just saying right now the latest ensembling and the latest modeling is suggesting it's going to be a lot more difficult moving forward to get snow up there than it has in recent weeks. It has been a brutally cold winter compared to normal for a large part of the country. Crazy wind chills, decent amount of snow in a large part. I mean, it's even snowing in Hawaii right now on the summits. It's just been a wild winter. But again, moving forward, I know what that groundhog said. I saw what that groundhog said, and he might have been right for a week or two. I got to be honest, I just don't know how much winter is left for the mid-Atlantic. I don't see anything sustained. Sure, you could get a couple of days worth of cold, but I don't know if you're going to get this sustained cold shots moving forward like you've been seeing pretty much all winter long. All right, real quick, show you this. Here's a look at Philadelphia moving forward. This is the next 10 days. See that? It's not much there. Now look at for example, look at the March 3rd. And I'm not saying there's a storm March 3rd. 43 degrees. You see the nighttime lows? You could get snow there, but you got to time everything out right. Because look at all the 50s, and actually there's a 61 on the 27th. So again, moving forward, you got to time everything just right. Let me show you what's going on here in South Florida, and then I'll let you guys go. Right there, that's what we're looking at here in the Stewart area. Boy, that looks pretty good. And these are really nice days too. And this is why all the snowbirds come down, because it's beautiful down here. There's no humidity. Every one of these days, there's no humidity. And the majority of them look like this with the palm trees behind me and the blue skies. So again, nice East Coast warm up here. There will be some cold shots moving forward. Just don't know how long they're going to last. I don't see anything really sustained right now in the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast moving forward. All right, you guys take care. Have a good day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.